Hello and welcome to Enjoying Films with Eugene Stevens. I'm your host, Eugene Stevens. Today we're talking about the December 14th film, The Towering Inferno, directed by John Gillerman. The question asked by the film is, what if the world was undermined by incompetence? The movie stars Paul Newman as the architect and Steve McQueen as the fire chief. One is struck by the set design, which sees the color palette of the office building mirroring the colors of the clothing of Paul Newman's architect. He fully sees the structure as an extension of himself. Unfortunately for our architect, the building owner hired his corner-cutting son-in-law to oversee construction. The electrical wiring is not up to snuff, and a fire breaks out. All of this happens when the building is having a party to celebrate its opening. Enter Steve McQueen, the fire chief tasked with rescuing the workers and residents and getting the blaze under control. In our current age of skyscrapers, reaching higher into the sky, he wonders if the buildings are able to handle such fires. He is concerned that the plumbing cannot handle the amount of water needed to put out such a blaze. Unfortunately for our protagonist, the owner of the building insists that the party going on the top floor must go on until it's far too late. The film features a wonderful score from John Williams, perhaps best known for his work on Gilligan's Island or on Lost in Space. This film is full of thrills. It may not be for young viewers, especially those who are afraid of fire. I would like to talk about the second unit. The second unit of a film is directed often by a different person than the director himself. The second unit director. This is a person chosen by the director of the film to direct things like action or special effects. In this case, the second unit director is one Irwin Allen, creator of such TV series as Lost in Space, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and Land of the Giants. One wonders if his connection to John Williams is what got him this cinematic job doing the score. I hope that we hear more from John Williams in the future. I've enjoyed his work on television and would love to see more of this kind of score in films. What if horror was funny? We are talking about Young Frankenstein, written by director Mel Brooks and star Gene Wilder. The film also credits Frankenstein author Mary Shelley. Somehow, it is the second film released by Mel Brooks this calendar year. Blazing Saddles served as an excellent send-up of the stupidity of racism, so it may end up being remembered as the more important of Brooks's 1974 films. Young Frankenstein is a laugh riot. It's a black and white picture combined with an old-timey soundscape of old Hollywood with a score by John Morris. My grandfather used to talk about the silent era of films, and he even took me to see a few when I was younger. And the way that this film sounds reminds me of those times, and some of the early talkies that I used to see. Peter Boyle plays the gigantic creation of Frankenstein, while Gene Wilder spends a good chunk of the film trying to distance himself from his infamous grandfather, before ultimately embracing his legacy. It is a film that can be enjoyed by many people of different ages. Some of the humor may be too much for younger viewers, but again, some of those things might just go over their heads. Also today, I'd like to point out a blink and you missed it role for Gene Hackman from 1971's The French Connection and 1972's The Poseidon Adventure. Frankly, I was surprised that he was in the film. It was such a brief role, and he was disguised very cleverly. It took me a while to figure out it was him. So it shows that he has range, not only as a dramatic actor, but as a comedic one as well. I would like to talk about the makeup department. Ed Butterworth, the makeup artist, and John Truve, William Tuttle, the makeup creator, and Mary Keats, the hairdresser. Now, makeup artists, what they do is they apply the makeup that you see on film. So the makeup that you see on the monster was done by them each day, and William Tuttle was the makeup creator. Now this is the person that crafts the pieces that you might see, And Mary Keats, the hairdresser, part of the makeup department, her job is defined right in the title. She makes sure that everybody's hair looks like it should from shot to shot, including the very silly comb-over that Gene Wilder has through the film. And I also saw The Godfather Part 2, and that's all I'll say about that. As always, I would like to encourage you to reach down into your heart and find your inner child, so the next time that you go to the movies, you remember the things that amazed you, the awe and wonder you felt at the picture shows. And I hope that you can remember the you were back when. Thank you for enjoying films with me.